Hi everyone, welcome back to Must Read Monday. My name is Dabney. I'm the young adult librarian with the Twin Lakes, and I use they, them pronouns. So today we are going to be looking at the new LGBTQ books that we've got into our collection because June is Pride Month. So we have lots of books to get through. These are books that were from the last two carts, so books that came out in May and books that are coming out in June. This is not all of the new LGBTQ plus books, by the way. Some of them have not arrived yet, and they'll be hitting our shelves any day now. So I'm very excited for these. I have read 10 of them, and for the sake of time, I'm just going to be showing you the books, reading you the summary of the ones that I've read, and then showing you the covers for the ones I haven't read. But if you ever need some book recs, hit me up because I read a lot. And also in the video notes, there'll be a link to our Goodreads book list for all of the LGBTQ plus books, as well as manga and graphic novels. And that list also includes our nonfiction books. Okay, so we're going to jump in first off with Mr. Impossible. This is book 2 of the Dreamer trilogy, and if you are not aware of this series, this is a trilogy set after a 4-book series known as the Raven Cycle, which is my favorite book series. So, I had to start off with Mr. Impossible, and I really loved it. You don't necessarily have to read the Raven Cycle to read the Dreamer trilogy, but I would recommend that you do that. You can also listen to the audiobooks. And I'll also let you know in the video notes what books are available on Hoopla and Libby, but the Raven Cycle, those are on Hoopla. And the summary, I'm just going to read from here. So, well, first I'll just tell you really quick. These are kind of the two of the main characters in this book. You've got Ronan, Lynch, and Hennessy. They both have the ability to take things out of their dreams. So this is a fantasy book, but set in our world. Okay. Something is happening to the source of the dreamer's power. It is blocked, diminished, weak. If it goes away entirely, what will happen to the dreamers and those who depend on them? Ronan Lynch isn't planning to wait and find out. Backed by his mentor, Bride, he is ready to do what needs to be done to save the dreamers and the dreamed, even if it takes him far from his family and the boy he loves. Jordan Hennessy knows she will not survive if the dreaming fails, so she plunges into a dark underworld in order to find an object that may sustain her. Carmen Farouk Lane is afraid of the dreamers, which is why she's agreed to hunt them down. The closer she gets, though, the more complicated her feelings become. Will dreamers destroy the world, or will the world be destroyed trying to eliminate the dreamers? Dun, 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 dun. Find out what happens next. Okay. Then we've got Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating. Love this cover. Okay. When Humara Hani Khan comes out to her friends as bisexual, they immediately doubt her. Apparently, she can't be bi if she's only dated guys. Cornered into proving her sexuality, she tells them she's dating someone, Ishida Ishu Day, the straight A student who seems more concerned with studying than relationships. When Hani approaches Ishu about fake dating, she agrees on one condition, that Hani help her become more popular so she can win the school's head girl election. It's the perfect plan to help them achieve their goals until Hani's friends become jealous that she's spending more time with Ishu. They'll do everything they can to drive a wedge between them and ruin Ishu's chances of becoming head girl. Now, Hani has a decision to make. Does she break off her relationship with Ishu for the sake of her friends, or does she tell Ishu how she really feels and turn their fake relationship into something real? we have the Passing Playbook. Spencer Harris is a proud nerd, an awesome big brother, and a verifiable David Beckham in training. Well, if David Beckham was 5'2" and black. He's also about to start 10th grade at a new high school, the most liberal one in Ohio, where he can safely be out as queer, but where no one will know he's trans. At first, life at Oakley is almost too good to be true. Spencer has more accepting classmates, a decent shot at a starting position on the boys' soccer team, great new friends, and maybe even something more than friendship with one of his teammates. But staying stealth comes at a cost when a discriminatory law forces Spencer to choose between spending the season on the bench or publicly fighting for his right to play, even though it could mean coming out to everyone, including the guy he's falling for. This one was amazing. So good. More sports. She Drives Me Crazy. After an embarrassing loss to her ex-girlfriend in their first basketball game of the season, 17-year-old Scotty Sajak gets into a fender bender with the worst possible person, her nemesis, Irene Abram, head cheerleader for the Fighting Reindeer. Irene is as mean as she is beautiful, so Scotty makes a point to keep her distance. When the accident sends Irene's car to the shop for weeks' worth of repairs and the girls are forced to carpool, their rocky start only gets bumpier. But when an opportunity arises for Scotty to get back at her toxic ex and climb her school's social ladder, she bribes Irene into an elaborate fake dating scheme that threatens to reveal some very real feelings. More fake dating! We love to see it. Also, this one is set in Georgia. Okay. The Witch King. Love this cover. Wyatt would give anything to forget where he came from, but a kingdom demands its king. In Azalin, Fae rule and witches like Wyatt Croft don't. Wyatt's betrothal to his best friend, Fae Prince Emir North, was supposed to change that, but when Wyatt lost control of his magic one devastating night, he fled to the human world. Now a coldly distant Emir has hunted him down. Despite transgender Wyatt's newfound identity and troubling past, Emir has no intention of dissolving their engagement. In fact, he claims they must marry now or risk losing the throne. Jaded, Wyatt strikes a deal with the enemy, hoping to escape Azalin forever. But as he gets to know Emir, Wyatt realizes the boy he once loved may still exist. And as the witches face worsening conditions, he must decide once and for all what's more important, his people or his freedom. This is the first book of a series, so really, really good. Alright, Jay's Gay Agenda. I think all of these covers are just amazing. Okay. 1. Meet another gay kid. 2. Fall in love with a boy. 3. Lose my virginity. There's one thing Jay Collier knows for sure. He's a statistical anomaly as the only out gay kid in his small rural Washington town. While all his friends can't stop talking about their heterosexual hookups and relationships, Jay can only dream of his own first, compiling a romance to-do list of all the things he hopes to one day experience, his gay agenda. Then, against all odds, Jay's family moves to Seattle, and he starts living his senior year at a new high school with a thriving LGBTQIA+ community. For the first time ever, Jay feels like he's found where he truly belongs. But as Jay begins crossing items off his list, he'll soon be torn between his heart and his hormones, his old friends and his new ones. Because after all, life and love don't always go according to plan. Fun. Okay. Pumpkin. Okay, so if you guys watched Dumplin', this is set in the same town, the same high school, and even the characters from Dumplin' are in Pumpkin. So there's Dumplin' and Puddin' and Pumpkin. Those are all set in the same high school. Okay. Waylon Russell Brewer is a fat, openly gay boy stuck in the small West Texas town of Clover City. His plan is to bide his time until he can graduate, move to Austin with his twin sister Clementine, and finally go full Waylon so that he can live his Julie, the hills are alive with the sound of music and truth. So when Clementine deviates from their master plan right after Waylon gets dumped, he throws caution to the wind and creates an audition tape for his favorite TV drag show, Fiercest of Them All. What he doesn't count on is the tape getting accidentally shared with the entire school. As a result, Waylon is nominated for prom queen as a joke. Clem's girlfriend, Hana, also receives a joke nomination for prom king. Waylon and Hana decide there's only one thing to do: run and leave high school with a bang. A very glittery bang. Along the way, Waylon discovers that there is a lot more to running for prom court than campaign posters and plastic crowns, especially when he has to spend so much time with the very cute and infuriating prom king nominee Tucker Watson. Waylon will need to learn that the best plan for tomorrow is living for today, especially with the help of some fellow queens. Yes, lots of drag queens. I love it. Okay, a manga. I was very excited about this one. I mean, I was excited about all of them, but this manga in particular. It's called Boys Run the Riot. This is volume 1. High schooler Ryo knows he's transgender, but he doesn't have anyone to confide in about the confusion he feels. He can't tell his best friend, who he secretly got a crush on, and he can't tell his mom, who's constantly asking why Ryo dresses like a boy. He certainly can't tell Jin, the new transfer student, who looks like just another bully. The only time Ryo feels at ease is when he's wearing his favorite clothes. Then and only then, the world melts away, and he can be his true self. One day, while out shopping, Ryo sees someone he didn't expect, Jin. The kid who looks so tough in class has the same taste in fashion as him. At last, Ryo has someone he can open up to, and the journey ahead might finally give him a way to express himself to the world. So, it's really good. Alright, we're getting there, y'all. The Darkness Outside Us. Okay, this is my favorite YA book of the year. One of my all-time favorite books. It made me cry. I do not cry. I've cried like maybe this many times while reading the thousands and thousands of books that I've read. So, that says a lot. It made me cry, but it left me happy, so don't let that scare you. Okay. 2 boys alone in space. After the first settler on Titan trips her distress signal, neither remaining country on Earth can afford to scramble a rescue of its own, and so 2 sworn enemies are installed in the same spaceship. Ambrose wakes up on the coordinated endeavor with no memory of a launch. There's more that doesn't add up. Evidence indicates strangers have been on board. The ship's operating system is voiced by his mother, and his handsome, brooding shipmate has barricaded himself away. Nothing will stop Ambrose from making his mission succeed, though not when the settler he's rescuing is his own sister. In order to survive the ship's secrets, Ambrose and Kodiak will need to work together and learn to trust one another, especially once they discover that they are up against larger forces than they had ever considered. Love might be the only way to survive. So it says 2-time National Book Award finalist Eliot Schrefer crafts a tender romance within a mind-bending mystery celebrating how the human capacity for love burns bright even when surrounded by unthinkable deception. So many feels in this book. This book can contain so many feels. Alright. And this one I'm currently reading. I'm like 60% into it, and I really love it a lot. 1,500 Miles from the Sun. And This one does not look like it has a book summary, because it has lots of people talking about the book on the back, which is nice. So I'll just summarize what I've read from it so far. So you've got Julian, who is a senior in high school. He lives with his dad, and he is gay, but he's like not out to anyone. But then one night he goes to a party, he gets trashed, ends up coming out on Twitter, so all of his friends see that, and so, he ends up being out to his friends, kind of without meaning to be, but they're all really supportive and have his back. And then his sister, his older sister, is there for him too, but like he doesn't want his dad or grandfather to know, because his dad is like really homophobic and like abusive, and he doesn't want him to know because it wouldn't be safe for him. So he's kind of dealing with like being out, and then also kind of trying to plan ahead to like where he's going to go to college. He lives in Corpus Christi, Texas, and he really wants to go to LA. That's like his number one goal. And he ends up corresponding with another gay teenager on Twitter, Matt, and so they end up becoming friends, and then more than friends. And so this is, everything that he's going through. I will say that he is Mexican American, and then Matt is Vietnamese American, so that is really great. You get like information from like both of their cultures, and they're also both like sports guys, soccer and wrestling respectively. So yeah, it's really good. I'm enjoying it a lot, and I have like 40% left, and I'm like dying to know how things end up. Okay, so now real fast, we're just gonna look at book covers and titles, because we're already 17 minutes into this. Right back here, I have the Tea Dragon Tapestry. This is a new graphic novel in the collection. I haven't read it yet. I'm really excited to read it because I absolutely adore the Tea Dragon Society and the Tea Dragon Festival, which are the ones that came out before this one. So check those out. They are in the YA department. We have Fence Disarmed. This is book 2. The first book is Fence Striking Distance, and these are novels based on the graphic novel series called Fence. Lots of fencing and romance and friendship, and I love all the characters so much. Can't wait to read this. The Ghost We Keep. May the Best Man Win. Another graphic novel, The Girl from the Sea. Cool for the Summer. Love and Other Natural Disasters. Ace of Spades. Can't wait to read this. Fire with Fire, fantasy with dragons. I'm excited. The Marvelous. This is a collection of short stories called Everybody Shines. Off the Record. I love this cover. All Kinds of Other. Okay, I am so weird. The first time I saw this cover, I didn't realize that there is a person's face here. Now, I feel like my brain can only like see one image at a time, either this person or this person's face. I can't see them both at once. I don't know. And then finally, Euphoria Kids. This is something that came out, I think, sometime last year in Australia, but now it is out in the US, so I've been looking forward to it, and I'm excited to read it, and all these other books, and all the other ones that have not arrived yet, but that will be getting here soon, like Darling by Kate Ancrum, which is a Peter Pan retelling. I'm so excited for that. So yeah, check these out. Come by the library. We're going to have them cataloged and on the shelves probably this week if they're not already there. And yeah, I hope y'all are having a great Pride Month. So yeah, see you next time. Bye.